Hey guys, it's Flanley with Flanley Gaming. We're going to check out Nyce Gaming's uh, the most fun MMO gameplay about Ashes of Creation. He has a pretty good take on Ashes. You know, I don't agree with everything he's got going on. Uh, I see it through a different lens, I think, and but what he's saying is not incorrect, but let's just watch the video and we'll talk about it as we go.
About what has genuinely been the most fun I've had in MMOs from a social perspective. And that, my friends, is extorting my fellow gamers and having them pay me protection money like I'm running some sort of mafia. The MMO I will be discussing as usual is Ashes of Creation, which is still in its early alpha stages but allows for a lot of social interaction, conflict, drama, friction, extortion, beef, PvP, and of course, some good old-fashioned role-playing. As most of you know, I've been covering Ashes of Creation for quite some time, and as most of you know, there's still a lot of planned features missing as it is a true work in progress. It is indeed a true alpha after all. I personally don't find the leveling process great and often yearn for more as we wait for more features to come online.
Well, the leveling process is terrible. You basically got to grind your way through it, and no one wants to do that. None of the quests are available yet, and the designers, I believe, have come out and talked about it. I mean, they weren't ready for that. They're not ready for that. They're just, we're helping them work out some of the bugs, and uh, that's all true. I think everyone's aware of that, but it's tough. It's tough grind if you're not a someone who just enjoys killing 1,000 mobs just to get half a level. Um, that's part of my hold up on, like, I haven't raced to 25. It's not that many levels right now. It's only 25, but they are hard to get. Each level takes a while if you compare it. If your comparison is World of Warcraft or something like that. Um, but as far as his point on this being, his idea of what's social interaction, yeah, if you're extorting people and you're talking with your guild and y'all are talking things together throughout, but it's not social to the people you're extorting. Some people have all their gold tied up in these caravans, and they'll be down to silver when they launch. And I feel like he's trying to convince us, like, oh, it's just it's part of the fun. And, well, it is part of the fun if and you're in a bigger guild and you can amass some people to go out and inflict pain on others. But if you're not, and if that's not what you enjoy, it's tough. And then gold's hard to come by. You're basically grinding most everything. So this is the one way to get gold, and you know he's using this way to steal it from you. And uh, so I have to disagree with him on the efficacy of it all. Now, if the defenders had something at stake, if they could lose something, we could talk. You see, they got nothing to lose. So this is a problem in the game right now. And I understand it's an alpha. This is not the game. I'm completely aware of that. So a lot of this isn't gonna be what it is now. But as far as the alpha and the way it's looking now, that's all I can talk about. Um, the defenders need something to lose. Otherwise, in the end, it's just going to be all people attacking caravans or people aren't even going to want to run caravans. They're just because, you know, and eventually this whole thing will just, you know, become where everyone's just attacking people, and it's just people are just griefing people. And, you know, I worry about that actually, especially more towards the end of the alpha. I know people are going to just start, you know, running out, camping people, griefing them, even though there are some mechanisms in place for that, but you know, it's not foolproof. But anyway, let's move on.
I do, however, like the combat and the PvP. This has been described as a sand park MMO, a combination of a sandbox game and your typical theme park game. A lot of the most enjoyable content in this game / alpha test is player driven. It's quite a social MMO. Caravan Extortion has been my go-to fun player loop.
See, I disagree with him. He's trying to convince people like extorting people is some type of social interaction. Yeah, for you and your guildies, but you and your guildies can get on and social interact over anything you want. That's up to you. But it's not social for the people that you're taking the stuff from.
I mean, do you think everybody had fun? I didn't like prevent the fun, right? To ask too many questions. I don't want people to feel like they're being interrogated. You know, it's a party, not a job interview.
Since, well, caravans are slow vehicles and act as mobile PvP objectives, meaning players can sign up as attacker or defender. This avoids the normal flagging and corruption system that keeps the game from becoming a gank box. And that's just the short summary of caravans, the true embodiment of risk versus reward, as players can destroy your caravan and or take the loot that you were transporting. So today I have a lot of footage of extorting players running caravans. This is essentially just demanding a...
And like he's saying, and that is 100% correct, it is meant to be their PvP.
You are correct, sir. Yes!
You know, I'm not sure where you get your socialization out of it, especially with other people outside of, you know, of the people you're already running with. But, you know, it's definitely meant for their PvP. You got to run thick if you're going to try to get your caravan across, that's for sure.
A player pay you via gold in exchange for leaving their caravan alone. It's essentially like a mafia forcing you into a protection racket. You know, you just say something like, oh, that's a nice caravan you got going on there. Would be a shame if something happened to it. It'd be a shame if I called my guild members to come sack it. And depending on the asking price, it's more than worth it for players to just pay.
No more.
Run into trouble. And it's going to be hard to replace that gold if you don't have a caravan to make you more gold. Plus, on most runs, the caravan driver is easily making 8 to 16 gold per run. So forking over just a couple of gold is more than worth it. And some people, after you pay them the gold, they'll even help you escort the caravan to your destination as part of the payment. This has been my favorite social aspect of the game, and you all may remember from phase 1, we love doing this to Pirate Software's actual Pirates Guild, as it's a way that even a small guild can make a difference and make a profit. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll show you a couple of clips and situations from when we extorted caravans, and stay tuned to the end because we actually tried to extort a GM, and I think you guys are gonna love how that went for me. Before we get into these tales of extortion, make sure you guys are already subscribed, and thank you so much to our YouTube channel members, all the Twitch follows, all the Twitch subs, and all that good stuff. Now let's get into it. Our protection racket would start off very nice.
Definitely, if you're seeing this, go subscribe to this guy. I will do it. Let me do that right now. Subscribe. Like, he does have a good good channel, good videos. He's going to be an up and coming video YouTube guy. You know, he's going to be. I don't know if he streams or not. I'm not sure. Look, I've followed streamers, you know, that have well over 6 million followers now. That I'm sure a lot of people have done that. Where they started off with, you know, I'd catch them around 50,000, you know, and it's always kind of nice knowing you were there early, and the guy's got a good voice. He speaks well. I respect that because as a streamer, because I'm working on that.
And very forgiving, as I only charged this person 20 silver as they were really down on their luck and gave me a long sob story about what they went through previously, so we charged them just 20 silver and let them keep it moving. The niceness of Nyce Gaming would not last long, however. We would soon continue to grow our syndicate and be on the prowl for more caravans. We got 2 gold from these 2 caravans right here as our guild swarmed in. Caravans are currently very vulnerable, allowing you to target the driver. This has always been a thing when drivers of the caravan are converted into a raft caravan, and this makes the users very susceptible to threat. This is an opportunity you cannot let go. Make sure you extort your...
Hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I come from WoW, like I talked about before. If someone ganks me, I don't take it well. I'll be writing you down like we're Naruto, writing you down in the freaking bingo book.
Your profile was in our bingo book. It called you the man who copied over 1,000 jutsu. Kakashi, the copy ninja.
With people, or they will keep griefing you. If you don't fight back and say, and make them think, this is not worth it to me, they're going to keep on. It's the bully at school situation.
Gold. Never get too lazy when running caravans. Always wait for a guildie to come online, although you can get really impatient. Always make sure you have some defenders. Throw them about a gold or so depending on how long the escort was and how well it went. Don't get impatient and get caught lacking by yourself. As you can see, the guild to our other side here, they made sure they rolled a lot of caravans at once, and thus they would have a lot of defenders and simultaneously get a lot of glint/gold in return. We initially only asked for 2 gold, but this guy turned out to be a subscriber, so of course I gave him an extortion discount. This is a friendly reminder for all you guys to make sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube, as you may get a discount. And as we're negotiating the terms of this extortion, you can see even more of the Ebon Lord guild that we saw earlier, riding very deep, protecting every caravan. This is how you avoid having to pay extortion money. Now with the small gains out of the way, it was time to hit some bigger fish. You can charge a lot more when you see a group of caravans, especially if you outnumber them. This time around, our asking price would be 10 gold, knowing how much they would still be making in profit even after paying us. Our fellow syndicate members always
10 gold. Oh man, we fighting. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Ready. You got to be ready for that.
call out caravan locations, and we would then converge on them. And this made for a very intense moment. Not many words exchanged, just us arriving, and there was a very long, awkward stare down. We left them wondering what would happen next. Without even signing up as an attacker, we would then escalate things by surrounding the caravan at all angles. After some time, we would then start negotiations at 10 gold to escort. There then appeared to be some paranoia, asking if we would keep our word. We will never lie or take gold and then still attack the caravan. I feel like your word is everything in these kind of social MMO.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that's cool that he did it, that way. But, it still wouldn't sit well with me. I would never pay. I would never pay. We just gonna have to fight, and I'm just gonna have to lose my loot. I'm just not doing it.
So we secured the 10 gold and allowed the guild to be on their merry way. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, it's pretty simple when I extort a caravan while solo. You get your 1 gold and you get to pocket that. But what about the guild? What does the guild get? Because in some of these scenarios, especially where there's a lot of people like this one you see here, they aren't exactly inclined to pay me, as I would be one solo person, but having numbers will intimidate people to pay you because they don't want to risk losing their caravan. Well, in these situations, the gold is split among everybody that showed up to participate in said extortion of running caravans. We do this a lot. We just ride around the map hoping to find caravans. And the good thing is, even if someone refuses to pay, it's a win-win because then you get PvP, which we'll show in our next situation. But pretty much after each caravan event, we will line up like so. Everyone gets in line and then you just pass out the gold. It's one of the fun slash really cool social things that we do. We extort and then we just divvy out the gold.
See, the problem is the defenders don't have anything to lose. You know, they got to fix that. They got to make the defenders have something that they can lose also. Like if they're not successful, there's some kind of consequence. You know, I talked about this with some people, my sister and her brother. I mean, her brother, my brother-in-law, her husband, and you know, maybe something like some kind of demolition catapult that the attackers can use that do extra damage to the cart, and you have to have that to start an attack. But if they destroy your cart, they can salvage it for parts for their next caravan or for another caravan or something like that. You know, we're just spitballing. You know, you come up with different ideas on different things. You know, I know like if they lost like a legit, because you're going to take all your stuff out of your bags. So they're not going to have anything in their bags. So that's a moot point there. But like if they lost a legitimate piece of gear, that might squash it all together. And I don't think they want to squash it all together. And I'm not a proponent of squashing it all together. But there has to be something like, you know, even if it's like if you survive the attack, you get extra gold or something. It has to be something. It's lopsided. Why would you even do a caravan? You could just go attack caravans. It just doesn't make sense.
And it's just a really fun time. So you may be wondering, like I mentioned, sometimes people aren't willing to pay, and that's when PvP happens, which is like I said, a win-win because we're always looking for fun PvP. It's always good practice and just fun to engage with the system. And sometimes you sack the caravan owner, and sometimes they call back up and they have friends to call. So here in this current situation, we just took out this caravan driver and are now working on destroying the caravan. After destroying the caravan, you have two options. You can bust open the crates that it drops with crowbars, which is really not worth your time. Or you can use a beacon to summon your caravan, which will allow you to pick up the crates, thus losing less materials. And you can take that.
Full disclosure, Clove is my sister.
To the nearest node or wherever you'd like to take it to. However, you are now a defender. You're now vulnerable to the same system that you just took part in. In this situation, we had, I guess they were still assembling their numbers, and some of their members, or one of their members, I should say, wanted to buy time and didn't want to flag up for the PvP event. Instead, they did what a lot of people in this game have been known to do. Instead of flagging up at a grind spot or flagging up in certain situations, they rather train mobs. And that's what this person did. He go by, grab the bear, the random mobs, the golems, in an attempt to slow us down, which, I mean, I think it's smart. Probably not the most honorable or respectful thing.
Most honorable. Dude, what you're doing is not honorable. It's within the rules of the game, and that's what it's supposed to be, and, that's fine. But she was trying to buy time for people to get there to help defend the caravan. And she does flag. She didn't flag right here until the other people showed up, but she does flag. She did lose a few things. Maybe she shouldn't have flagged in all actuality, but anyway.
To do, but all's fair in love and war, I guess. But yeah, so they just constantly tried to train mobs on us, which wasn't too much of an issue. We had a couple of tanks in the area. However,
she was just trying to buy time. She wasn't thinking she was going to stop y'all. But it makes sense though. I mean, y'all did dispatch everything pretty quick. She you know, she's a lot like me. She just doesn't sit well with her to have people ganking caravans. Like I don't do it even with my guild. Like I don't go with them to gank caravans. Only because I know you know they're tying it to PvP, and I enjoy PvP. But some people, it's like all the money that they got, and it's like they're just trying to get some money going. And it's not just a few people; it's a lot of people. That's their situation.
Reinforcements would soon arrive, and they were deep. They actually got the best of us, I think, 2 times. I think we got sent back to the Ember Springs because they just were overwhelming us in numbers. And then on the last spawn right here, it was getting even better because we had some more people arrive, and then that's when the caravan actually got turned in successfully by them after they destroyed ours. Either way, it was a good fight. GG's. They managed to get some of their materials actually turned in, although they did lose 1 caravan. But at the end of the day, everyone had fun, everyone had PvP, and it was respectful on both sides. So shout out to them.
Yeah, no reason to be disrespectful, even if I disagree that you should do it. I mean, as far as like disrespectful and like how we talk to each other shouldn't be rude. Now, I'm going to remember that you tried to gank me. Now, will I be as bitter about it as if you're successful versus if you're unsuccessful? Hell yeah. I'm going to be a lot more bitter if you're successful taking my caravan than if you're unsuccessful. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, the reality is you just, you know, for the people that are doing caravans, you got to run deep and you got to give people time to get there. The guy that started this caravan here, I already know what happened. He was impatient and he started and, you know, and he got rolled on, you know, and Clove tried to help him because that's just her nature. But, you know, it wasn't enough for that particular caravan.
Our guild also participated in some political extortion, which got us a lot of gold as well.
I'd like to know what that's about. I bet it was about the voting for the mayor stuff. I don't know enough about it. The mayor. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand in Ashes. It's not as intuitive of a game as, you know, well, the grandfather, WoW. You know, WoW's very intuitive. You know, it's, you know, the quests lead you here and there, and, you know, and it's easy to understand and everything's easy to find. Like, even when I'm in town, I have a hard time finding stuff, and then some stuff's in this town, some stuff's in another town. Then it's hard to get there, you know. So there's some issues I have with it. You know, I want to have a mail system. There's, you know, and I know they're gonna, but it's not yet, you know, and I'm hoping they're not trying to outthink the damn game. Just put a mail system in. Let me use the mail as storage. It's not a big deal. If you don't want it to be like a long time, make it, you know, it goes away after, you know, 15 or 20 days or something. But, you know, I want to have the mail system running. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. I would love a hearth. You know, I don't understand why I gotta run every inch of every place I'm gonna go. I mean, sometimes, the hearth doesn't change the game that much, you know. Anyway.
That kind of stuff you can't show on video. So let's move forward to our
that had to be about the election. There must have been some shenanigans.
Final clip, and that is our attempt at extorting a GM. Here's how that went. One of our scouts for caravans spotted a GM who appeared to be trying to test caravans. One of our scouts for caravans spotted a GM attempting to escort a caravan in our territory. And we don't care if you're a GM, we don't care who you are, we don't care if it was Steven Sharif himself.
Hey, respect. If you're gonna extort the GM, I could give you some respect for that.
Everyone gets extorted, so I approached the location. I told them to halt and placed my tank wall down to prevent forward movement as I typically do. I decided to give them a good old intrepid discount, yet they still refused to pay, claiming to be blessed by the sandaled one. I tried my best to catch them and it was just no point.
Blessed
And
by
no,
the
I am
sandaled
not
one.
fast forwarding the footage here. That's how fast that caravan left. Legends say it was even faster than pre-nerf crocodiles.
Yeah, that's some GM shenanigans there. But if you're gonna see how caravans go, lose your caravan, GM. I mean, that's what you're there to find out, right? Won't you lose your caravan? Let these guys take it. I mean, that's what's happening to everybody else. Are you there to learn to see, or are you there to just run on the road with the caravan? Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the caravan was rolling. That was fast as hell. Got the Nikes on.
But that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't put every caravan extortion in here, but I wanted to give you guys just a kind of overview of the system and this gameplay loop for me. I know some people don't really understand the caravan system. They don't realize that when you're signing up for a caravan event or when you're running a caravan, you are literally becoming a mobile PvP objective, and thus there's going to be risk, there's going to be reward sometimes. It can be very frustrating losing a caravan. Trust me, I know. We've had caravan sacked. My people in my guild have gotten impatient and ran solo, and they've gotten extorted. It all comes full circle. You know the risk of what can happen if you run a caravan, and if you don't want it, you know, destroyed, you may want to have some gold to pay. But for some people, they don't even want the gold; they just want to attack your caravan. So it really just goes without saying. But either way, this adds a lot of social strife and fun social interaction.
I'm not sure where he keeps getting the social thing from. It's not social.
I haven't really had this happen. I think except in phase 1, there was one guild that took it personal. Like maybe not.
Hell yeah, that would be me. I would take that shit personal. Oh, you in the bingo book? We fighting every time I see you. Not now. He's never done me nothing, but I'm just saying if we did, that's how it would be. I'm telling you, I don't do well with that.
To the point of like declaring a guild war, but they really held on to it for the whole phase and just like straight up hated us. Most people just see it as just, you know, vulnerable PvP. Yeah. You sack the caravan or you lose the caravan and you just move on about your day, and it's nothing personal. Either way, I think it's a good, perfect balance of social / RP meets PvP, and it's just something I've really enjoyed with this MMO. And who knows how much more fun this MMO will be as they add more features, but this is the one that has been.
As they add more features, this MMO is going to really blossom. You know, they had a few content creators holding judgment I think a little too early, and I do as well sometimes. But I think you got to voice your problems with the game, though, even if it's if it's early, so that they fix those, so that those are things that they address. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? You know, I get pushed anytime I complain, like in guild, I get a lot of pushbacks. Like people, you know, so worried, like I'm bitching about like I don't like the game. I like the game. But look, let's face it, it's got a lot of problems. Like when I see his recording and his screen, man, it looks so fantastic. Mine doesn't, you know, that's part of that's got to do with my computer, but it takes a lot of computer to run this game. I'm gonna say that, and I think that's a mistake. You want as many the harder it is to run a game, the better the computer you have to have. The less people you're going to have play your game. And that's the bottom line. You're limiting who can play. Only the people with nice computers can play this game right now. And, you know, if you don't have a 4060 at least, you're going to struggle. And So, and it's not the, you know, and I can just hear people, oh, I got a 30 something that plays it. Nobody, look, I understand. All I'm saying is it takes a little bit of something. Like, my computer pushes World of Warcraft like it's nothing. Nothing. It runs it so good, but yet I have the hardest time running this game. It's got a lot going on, you know, as far as the artwork and stuff, and so anyway, let me see.
Most enticing to me thus far, but
really
comment below, what has your interactions with the caravan system been like? Have you been extorting? Have you been extorted? And what MMOs have even more fun social systems or fun social systems that incorporate PvP as well? Let me know. Comment below. Make sure you like the video if you made it this far, and make sure that you're subscribed. Really appreciate all the support. Once again, thank you so much to our YouTube channel members, Twitch subs, and everything like that. A link to join the YouTube membership will be down in the description. Really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. It's been nice.
Well, thank you, Mr. Nyce Gaming. That was a really good video. He's a good content creator. I hope he does well. And it sounds like he will. He's got a good speaking voice, you know.
He speaks so well. He's so well spoken. He speaks so well. I mean, he really speaks well. He speaks so well.
Content of his, and see where it goes.